Good evening, folks. Welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. How are you doing this evening? It is 5:15. It's going to be dark before you know it. Let's hug each other because the shift is officially here. So we're going to get down into the 30s tonight. Wasn't supposed to hit till tomorrow night, but from what I understand now, they're like, yeah, it's going to happen tonight now. I'm like, great. Make my day. That's just wonderful. Like so many of you, I don't know, when you live this lifestyle, I like cooler temperatures to a point, but then when we start moving into pushing freezing, I just go, okay, I'll dream about Mother's Day again, because that's kind of like when our weather picks really back up to being what I like. So, but we'll deal with it, which is going to bring up several points here, which is really important to talk about. So, I actually recorded a video yesterday, and it's really long, and I'm just going to make this simple stupid, because like so many of you, we're feeling shifts in so many departments. Obviously, just a seasonal change. I think a lot of folks around the country the weather's finally changing. We're at the end of October, right? The leaves, the cool weather, the persimmons are gone. Somebody asked me, they're like, are you going to do your second persimmon reading? I had planned to, but by the time I really got to the point where I typically do the second one, there wasn't really any persimmons to read. They dropped very early this year. And of course, I've got goats and deer that are like, oh, we're going to take them all, baby. So the ones outside the fence, the deer got. The ones inside the fence, my goats thoroughly enjoyed them. But by all the readings I'm seeing local, they're just like mine, which is a lot of spoons and a couple of knives. So that's in my region. So you have to look at what's going on in your region. But here's the deal. So yesterday's video, I focused on talking about more spouse issues in terms of what I feel, what the marriage what a marriage faces today, and how women have been taught to be a certain way in the past 30 to 50 years, or a little bit longer, and the struggles that come in between that. And then we start talking about diet and exercise and health and supporting each other. It really was a very long process. I'm going to condense it in this one. Folks, let me ask you a question, because I don't think a lot of people have really come to terms with this. And it's not that I didn't believe it. And I think a lot of you are going to do the same thing. You're going to go, yeah, that makes sense. But until you actually see it in live action with yourself or with somebody close to you, to where it's problematic or causes a health crisis or a lot of other things, it's kind of like you don't know. And you need to ask yourself, are you an addict to sugar? Are you an addict to processed foods? Are you an addict to fast food? Are you an addict to seed oils? And let me tell you why I'm throwing in the word addict, because I really think that is what a lot of people, particularly in the United States, are facing. It's causing, I think, in my personal opinion, it's causing so many health problems beyond a pudgy belly and a cortisol problem. I think it's causing a lot of emotional problems. I think it's causing brain damage. I think it's causing, people relate a lot of these potential issues to Alzheimer's and to dementia. I think it's, questionable about a handful of other diseases, obviously. Diabetes, heart problems, definitely. But I think it's also putting a wedge between people in relationships, because we are so emotionally off the scales and imbalanced that we don't even know how to handle ourselves. On top of that, then you have the issue of society, and especially music and social media strongly over the last 30 years, really wedging relationships as far as playing psychological warfare with women and with men too, in terms of what our roles are with each other. So where am I going with this? The bottom line here is, and I'm not going to get too long-winded, that's the whole point of refilming this, is the fact that you would think that I would have known this And into some capacity, I did. I mean, James and I have been married for over 28 years now. We've been together going on 30. And the fact of the matter is, people change. The world has changed. Your diet has probably changed. You've aged. You've had children. You've had to focus on that, this or that or the other. And, you know, when one of you in a marriage fall into a health crisis, that's really going to test your marriage. It's going to test any of your relationships. It could even be your son. It could be your mom, whatever. And here's what I want to say to you. So I want to give some free advice. You don't have to take it. Please weigh in. We've changed a lot of things over the last 3 months, and we did get back James's A1C yesterday. It came in yesterday. They called and left a message. They're going to send the full report. Everything. They only let him know the main thing that they were looking for. Everything else looked good. We're sending you the report. So there was no cause for concern on anything else. So we're waiting on the full report. My husband's A1C has dropped to 5.4. And that is the lowest it has ever been. Now, I'm not going to go into all these details and bore you to death, but when my husband fell into being a diabetic back in after his heart failure issue, congestive heart failure, within a year, like overnight, like within a week, I mean, it was like, what is going on? He's drinking like 17 gallons of water, and what is wrong? Why is there a lot of details there? His A1C was over 13. And he dropped it down, and then it's gone back up a little bit, and it's come back down, and we've had some, overall, a whole lot better in recent years, and then it started creeping up again. And so we've attacked it. He's fully on board with what he needs to do with himself, and that's his decision. But, you know, our diet has changed into predominantly, we're not carnivore, but we are predominantly high protein, good complex carbs, pushed out as much processed food, going as no sugar as possible, unless it's a very simple, like natural sugar, honey, maple syrup in moderation. I'm not getting into that full debate about what you should or should not do, but what I'm telling you is it's 5.4 now. It was 6.4 in January. It's 5.4. And I bet you before he started really hustling with what he's been doing over the last 2 to 3 months, it may have been higher than 6.4. We don't know that, but it wouldn't surprise me. I'm just telling you the truth. So what I'm saying to you is I know for a fact that my husband, who is doing my barn chores for me right now so I can film this, so if you see him bouncing around, that's what he's doing. So he's like, I want you to go talk about this. I have to fully support my husband. And ladies, the world's going to tell you that you're too busy and that you shouldn't have to do this for your man and he should be an adult and you're not his mother and you're this and you're that. Guys, your wife, if she's having trouble postpartum into perimenopause, menopause, she's gained weight, she's having all these issues, and you know she should just buckle down, stop whining, get to the gym, let's change our diet. I mean, what I'm saying is the fundamental middle mush, which is the answer to a lot of these problems, one of you might be on one side and one is on the other. And the one of you that is having a better time with aging, diet, whatever, maybe you're not addicted to sugar as bad. Okay. You don't have to have McDonald's 3 times a week. It's not playing on your emotions. It's not doing these things to you. But it is your spouse. You have to realize that both of you, to some capacity, and most likely your spouse far more, is an addict. And that shocks people when it's said in that capacity, because people think of addiction as alcohol or obviously drugs, you know, other things like that, cigarettes. Because that's the way we've been, you know, we don't think of Little Debbie cakes as an addiction. We joke about it being an addiction. But the chemicals and the processes and the things and everything that's been going on with our food, especially over the last 30, 50, 60 years, some people will argue past war starting really in the 50s or whatnot. Folks, it's really put us on a path of destruction, not just health-wise, but everything else in our lives. So in other words, from the example here is, what am I supposed to do when I have a husband who has struggled, doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, my husband's downfall was a Coke and a brownie. but it could have put him 6 feet under real quick, right? So he's made the decision, like so many people right now are trying to say, I don't want to live this way. This is not how I want to live. I understand what's going on. They have to want to change, okay? I agree with you on that. It's just like anything else, but they need help. And so a lot of times when it's on us women, I'm telling you right now, I'm working harder right now than I have in the last 10 years, even with 3 kids in the house. I am cooking more. I'm washing dishes more. I am food prepping more. I am doing a lot of the things because he has point blank said, I want and need your help. I know you know this better than I do, and I have an idea, and I'm learning. But in order for me to do what I need to do, I need support. Guys, if your gal is struggling in some of the ways that I've said earlier, and it may not be food for her necessarily, just change. Could be, something happened in y'all's life, death. She's going through a hard time. She needs your support. Now, I'm going to relate this to diet and exercise. So let me go. So how do I help James? Well, there he is right there. The main things that I do is I'm in charge of the food. I mean, he definitely has a say-so because I'm constantly checking with him. Okay, what do you think about this? He's like, yeah, I like that. I'll do that. And I'm doing everything that I do and read and listen to or the books, I'm sharing everything with him. And he's like, yeah, yes. Because he works outside of the home and, this is overwhelming at times for him. So he's asked for that help. So I've taken that on. Okay, that's why you're seeing me. It's not just about me. It's also even now more so about him. It's both of us together. I make sure his gym clothes are washed every day. We're ready to go. There's no excuse for us not to go to the gym 5 days a week. We're doing the barn. We've already had supper. We've cleaned up the house. Laundry's switched off. The dogs are fed. Everything's good. We're going to the gym. See, we're not going out to a movie or we're not going to a ball game. The priority is, in addition to what we already basically do, it's about making sure that we're having really good food, really good education, really good focus, and really good exercise. There is no time for anything else. So there's where you have to understand something right there. There really isn't any more time right now for that. We don't want it to be. And, it plays with a woman's mind to, because the world will tell you, well, you shouldn't have to coddle your husband. Yeah, maybe you should a little bit. That's what we're supposed to do, guys. Excuse me, gals. Gals, that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be the nurturer. We're supposed to be the cheerleader. We're supposed to be the support. And I'm telling you right now, if you haven't considered the idea and possibly the fact that your spouse, possibly you too, is addicted to these killer foods that we've been told over and over and over are safe and that it's okay to eat. And I'm not trying to quote judge anybody here. I'm just telling you what they are. You know this. But guys, if it's your wife having issues, let's say she doesn't want to work out, okay? You say, well, go join a gym. Just go do it. Women are very body shamed. Men are too, but not to the level that women typically are. I've seen a lot of comments by women, and I've heard podcasters even talk about how they are intimidated to go to the gym. So if you've got to say, hey, babe, I'll go to the gym with me. Come on. I want you to go. Let's see what we're going to try a few things today. Okay. Let's see what you can do. I know you can. Girl, I've seen you. I know. And ease her into it. Spot her. Direct her. Don't scold her. A lot of women were not raised to do weightlifting. They may have played certain sports and they did a few things cute in high school or whatever. But I'm talking about to the level that women are being really encouraged to work now. A lot of women, some of you out there are. I've seen your comments. You my people. But the majority of the population, they don't have a clue what they're doing. That's not a knock. It's a fact. And so they're intimidated. They're scared to go to a gym. I've seen many comments by women. The reason they don't go is because they're scared. Now, I tell people to do it at home. If you want to do it at home, gals, get you a yoga mat and some weights and watch some videos. You can do that. But what I'm trying to do is encourage husbands to be there for their wives And I'm trying to encourage women to be, and wives to be there for their husbands. In this day and age, we have got to support our spouse in every way possible. And I'm telling you right now, this whole thing can be very overwhelming for one person. This is why they tell you to get a partner, join a group. It's true. It's encouragement. But I'm telling you what right now in closing, you want to talk about building an incredible time in your marriage. When you decide together that you're going to go on this journey and you start duking it out and you're seeing, your husband losing 35 pounds and suddenly your inflammation is gone and you're cooking whole foods, which by the way can be pretty economical. They don't have to be fully perfect and organic. What's another whole video, and you're doing it together. He's feeding my cows for me. And you're talking about it and you're sharing and you're encouraging. That really creates a special time together, a really strong bond, a warrior bond in a godly marriage that I know people seek. So ladies, it don't matter what society's tried to train you to be, independent and you don't need and he shouldn't this and he should. Stop all that nonsense. Serve your husband. Serve your husband, please. I didn't say to be submissive to an abusive marriage. That's not what I'm saying. So when somebody tries to be smart and type that in the comments or tell a story that tries to downplay what I'm saying, flip the narrative, we're rejecting that. I'm saying be a positive encourager and supporter. Okay? If your husband is addicted to foods that you know are slowly killing everybody, get him out of the house. Okay? Constantly have conversations. Sweet. Ask questions. Don't persecute. Okay? Gentlemen, don't get frustrated with her when she gets fussy about it. It's because she's scared. She's frustrated. She's intimidated. Those are real things too. Be patient with each other. A lot of people are facing this right now. We're in a health crisis in this country. Find the things that you know you can give up. Make the decision and go for it. I know you all can do it. And I know you can support each other in that process. I hope this video finds you well and it made sense. I'm trying to not make it too long. It's still now almost 18 minutes. But it's a huge, huge, huge topic. And it's an important topic as well. We're going into wintertime. The holidays are coming. It's an emotional time. The world's halfway on fire. Okay? You're going to be tempted by all kinds of crazy foods these days, which, by the way, I'm going to tell you right now, you do half of what we're doing right now and you stick with it and you go for 90 days, I'm not really sure you're going to want those sugar cookies as much as you think you will. Everything's going to change for you, and it's going to be a great change for the better. And I believe in y'all. I believe in you. Talk it out. Just be patient. And there's going to be things that you learn, and there's going to be things that you change all along the way. That's part of the process. Okay? We're still growing and learning and listening to different things. And what are you going carnivore? What are we doing? The whole idea of carnivore conversation has come up. We're learning about it. We may not fully go that route, but we're learning a lot of things about it. It's a journey, and you're going to be so much better off for it. Be patient and support each other. Go team. Like, subscribe, and share. Pray, prep, and be peaceful. I'm going to jump in here and help him finish up. And you know what? It's leg day. So when we get back, I'll be like, oh my God. Yeah, I love leg day. It's my favorite, but it is the most difficult. It can be, but you got to do it. All right, I'll see you guys on the next video. Hugs again.